Hello and welcome to Finding Gumshoe Garrett. I'm your host, Ryan Mullin, and this is the show where I am trying to track down Gumshoe Garrett, the man who calls himself Gumshoe Garrett. And I'm sure everyone is sick and tired right now of all the posts they've been seeing of me posting about this all over the internet, all over real life. I've been posting on signs around town, on Facebook, the Reddit, 4chan, 5chan. I've been posting underneath people's car windshields and putting some posters under there, asking anybody that knows any details about Gumshoe Garrett. I'm asking the people. And so this show, I will be having a series of guests on from Gumshoe Garrett's past. People have answered these ads, and hopefully they'll be able to give me some more details and more information about him that will help me track him down, so I can get justice. What is that justice they're asking? You're wondering why am I trying to track him down? Well, I will get to that later in the show, I'm sure. But for right now, we need to go to sponsors, and then we'll get to our guests. We have a couple great guests in today's episode. Our first sponsor for the show is you've heard of smart cars, you've heard of smartphones, smart food. That's that popcorn. Smart people. Well, now we have Smart Ketchup, brought to you by Dr. Albert Heinstein. That's a great sponsor, and we have a great partnership with them. Use promo code Gumshoe to get 12% off your next order, and just get 12% smarter when you're having that ketchup. So let's now that we got that out of the way, let's get into it. Our first guest we have with us today is Robert. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
You used to work with Gumshoe, you said. Where did you guys work?
We used to deliver papers together. The Penny Saver. Actually, the same place where I found the ad for.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
I was posting all over the place. I'm so happy. That's where you found it.
I was working and I was flipping through on my break and saw the ad. I figured I'd have to reply because it was just bizarre coincidence.
What was your first impression of Gumshoe Garrett?
Well, at first, we worked completely different districts. We had completely different routes. He was more in the rural area. I was more suburban.
Okay.
And I got a call one day from my boss, and he asked if I could fill in for this guy Gary. And I was like, sure, no problem.
Gary, okay.
Garrett, I guess, is what people who weren't close to him would call him. I call him Gary. Gumshoe, okay. Gary, Garrett, whatever you want to call him.
Okay.
Gumshoe didn't come into play until a little bit later.
Okay.
But yeah, so I knew him as Gary.
Really? And so were you guys friendly?
At first, he was a hard guy to like, but working around him, you had no choice but to like the guy. He was like a magnet. He just kind of drew you in.
I felt the same way. Actually, no, maybe kind of the opposite. I felt really connected to him at first. I felt some kind of connection, but then later is when things turned. I'm sure I'll get to it a little later, but for you, how did it all get along?
So, I get the call, so I go to fill in for him, and I get to his house because I had to pick up his papers. The way it works is they drop off a stack to your house for your district.
Yeah.
So I had to go to his house to get the papers, so I had to meet his mom. Now, this is 45-year-old Gary. He's still living with his mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Miss B was a sweetheart, though. So I went, she gave me the stack of papers. I guess he had come down with the flu.
Okay.
You're working with the elements when you're delivering papers. You're out at 3 a.m.
What kind of elements? Fire, wind?
If it's winter,
water?
The papers still have to deliver them. They don't deliver themselves. So.
What if they did?
I think Gary was actually working on a solution for that.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, he was an industrious guy.
Wow.
He was always playing with something. He always taking it apart, putting it back together. And he actually was trying to mod his vacuum cleaner into doing his paper route for him.
The vacuum cleaner would do the paper route, and what would do the vacuuming?
His mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so he was a strange guy. I don't know how else to say it without being rude. He was an interesting dude.
Yeah,
and
very much.
I go to pick up his papers to do his route, and his mom comes out to greet me. He doesn't even have the decency to come say thanks or anything like that.
Wow.
But, we crossed paths a few more times. He would call in sick. I'd have to do his route. And then we started doing our route right next to each other. So I started doing one a district over, and we'd run into each other the odd time on this route.
Yeah? And what was he doing? Was he doing the job properly? Was he a good worker?
He was. But, he always had his head in the clouds. He was always thinking about something else. He was just kind of doing it. It was routine for him. It was second nature. He was just dropping the papers and walking. But
was he too busy thinking about these inventions he's trying to create? Or what do you think...
Well,
had his head up there. What was he thinking about?
He told me what it was.
Yeah.
Since you haven't talked to him for a while. I haven't talked to him for a while. I feel like I can spill the beans on this one.
I
One
hope
night,
so.
about 2 a.m., I guess he was putting off his papers. He comes, knocks on my door, wakes me up. He's like, "Oh, yo, Kev." I mean, you can call me Robert. He called me Kev for short. Kevin.
But what is your name?
Robert, but people call me Kevin for short.
People call you Kevin for short of Robert.
Yeah.
Why not Bob? Or Bobby. That's the typical short form for
or
Robert.
Robbie.
Or Robbie. So you know other short forms.
I definitely
but you prefer
do. No,
Kev.
no. It just.
What about Kev for Kevin? Do you like the short form for your short form?
No, that's just a little. That gets a little too convoluted.
Okay.
Because Kevin makes sense. It's less letters than Robert, right?
I guess so.
6 letters for Robert, 5 letters for Kevin. So technically, still is a short form.
Technically, but that just sounds like a different name, not a short version of.
But I mean,
Robert.
Yeah, but Robert, Bob is a different letter to start it off with.
It is confusing. Yeah,
like Bob.
Bobbert.
It's not Bobbert.
It's not.
Yes, you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. Okay.
Anyway,
all right.
So he comes to the door. He's ringing my bell. I live alone, so it's not waking anyone up but me. I throw on some clothes, throw on some skivvies, run down, get the door, and he.
What's a skivvy?
It's another word for underwear.
Oh, okay.
I'm an old soul. So yeah, I still call them skivvies.
Okay. And so he was there?
He was at my door, 2 a.m. I guess he decided to put off doing his paper route until that morning. They were supposed to be. You have the opportunity to do them either Wednesday night or Thursday morning before people go to work. Mm-hmm. So I guess he decided to go at 2 a.m.
Okay.
Shortly before that, and he's at my door at 2 a.m. saying that he was just abducted. And I'm worried. I'm like, did you get the license plate? You know, did you see who did it? And he's like, oh no, not by anybody, not by a person.
By aliens?
Yes.
Okay, so like he is like whacked out. Like,
well, that's not fair to say. Whacked out. I mean, his story is pretty.
What happened to him? I guess.
So he's walking down this road.
I'll come at the story with an open mind.
Yeah. So like I was saying, he delivers in a rural area, right? So he's got his wagon, his little radio flyer, whatever you want to call it. He's pulling his papers along, and he's got about a kilometer, sometimes half a kilometer in between houses, rural.
Okay.
You know, you got the odd street light in between, and he says all of a sudden he just hears this high pitched noise. And at first he thought it was just his tinnitus ringing, you know.
Okay, yeah.
You know, he had passed with all those concerts, so his ears.
What concerts?
He never really got into it. He said he was into some new age music. I don't know what that meant.
Okay, me neither.
Yeah, I would like to ask him. We didn't really share musical preferences. I never really.
What are you into?
I'm into I dabble. I mean, I'm into classical.
You dabble with the classical?
I dabble with the classical.
Okay. Okay.
And
cool.
You know,
I like to learn more about these people. About you also, so I can see people connected. Oh, smooth jazz.
Yeah. Sometimes when you put the headphones on, and you're walking to do your papers, you just get lost in the rhythm.
Okay, that's what you listen to. Nice.
Yeah.
I have one question about Gumshoe that I've kind of heard in different areas, different corners. People are telling me this, and I need to know if this is true. Was there a point when he was juggling Juggalo?
He didn't want me to talk about that.
No? So, can I take that as a yes? That at one point in his life he was a juggling Juggalo?
Yes.
Wow. I'm just trying to picture that. Like, that is a lot going on for one guy.
He had many lives. And he had a dark side to him as well.
Yeah?
I'm sure if you ask him other people, you'd get that same answer. He had a dark side to him.
Like what? What kind of things would you notice that were really dark? Things that he'd say or do? Or...
I just feel like he had a hidden agenda.
That makes sense. What did he smell like?
He smelled like a mix between bounce sheets.
Yeah.
And cotton balls.
Okay. I feel like...
He was very, very sterile smelling.
Because when I met him, I felt like he was trying to cover it up. Because I didn't smell that. I felt like he was covering his smell. And that makes sense. Okay.
That might have been... I don't know. That might have been... He was always wearing a mask, you know? And maybe he was masking that mask with another smell.
He was masking the mask?
He was masking the mask with another mask.
Wow.
So he's trying to smell like somebody he wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, well, this has been great. Thank you so much. We have to get to our next
totally
guest. Can you stick around?
Yeah, I'll stick around for a bit.
Great. Our next guest, Michael Johnson. Welcome. Michael, how are you doing?
It's Jensen.
Jensen? I have it written here.
No, it's Jensen.
I have it written here. Okay, well, you probably know your own name. So you were a corrections officer?
I was a corrections officer.
You were a corrections officer for when,
Yes. Oh, step back?
Yeah.
So
Well, you can't go that close to the mic.
Oh, okay.
It's just not going to pick up too well.
I've never done one of these before.
But you answered the ad.
Yeah, but I've never done a podcast before.
No? Do you listen? Do you know what a podcast is?
I mean, not really, no.
Okay, well, I appreciate you being so open
problem.
and having an open mind.
By the way, you can just call me Big Mike.
Big Mike Jensen?
No. Big Mike.
Just Big Mike?
Yes.
Okay, Big Mike.
All right.
So you were a corrections officer. Are you still a corrections officer?
No, I retired. I'm 55 right now. Retired for about 5 years.
You were retired for about 5 years and then you're going to get back?
I've been retired.
Oh, okay.
Son, you got to listen.
I'm sorry, Big Mike. So why did Gumshoe go to jail? Was it a jail or prison or what?
Well, this was about 15 years ago.
Okay.
All right. Normally, we don't like to talk about why people go to prison. It's kind of a personal matter, but
I appreciate
on the
coming
fact
on
you're
the
looking
podcast.
for them, I feel like some of these information can kind of help.
I really appreciate that.
First off, I just want to say the reason why his name is Gumshoe Garrett.
Yeah, I was really curious.
There's actually an incident in one of the facilities.
Yeah.
He's known for kind of being a fighter. So basically, when you enter a facility, you do the walkthrough kind of thing. You get all your equipment, you get all your clothing, you get your bunk.
Yeah.
He was placed with his bunk buddy. Fortunately, I can't release his name. Again,
That's okay.
Confidentiality issues.
Can you say it and then we'll beep it out?
I don't feel comfortable doing that, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, words were exchanged.
What did it rhyme with?
It rhymes with, I'm not going to say anything right now. So, we'll move on from that. Thank you. So, words were exchanged. Other inmate actually spat gum at Garrett's shoe.
So literal.
It was
of
at this
a name.
time when Garrett took off his shoe and beat horrifically this other inmate.
Horrifically?
Horrifically.
Could you beat somebody not horrifically?
Probably, yeah. But
This was
that
horrific.
wasn't in Garrett's mind.
No, he was. Wow.
Yeah, so from there that's history.
Kevin, can you imagine him doing this?
Like I said, he had many secrets.
Yeah. This is a serious. You got to see the true darkness that he was hiding from you and the public.
I find in the line of work that we do, we see people in their weakest moments as well as their strongest moments. People become transparent. 15 years ago, he was a younger person.
That's true. I think we all were 15 years ago.
He made mistakes. He was in jail for 4 years. It's a long time. From being the person that was, smoking marijuana.
Yeah. He was smoking
theft.
the dope?
Yes, he was smoking marijuana. Should I speak closer? Did you hear me the first time?
Sir, I'm not trying to have any issues with you.
No, I want to make sure that I'm speaking.
That seems good, yeah.
Smoking marijuana.
Okay, yeah.
Theft. He was involved in gangs.
Really?
Yes,
Which gangs?
I don't know, but they wore a lot of makeup. That's what I remember.
A gang with makeup?
Yes. Not quite sure.
Could it be the Baseball Furies? Was he part of that? Did they wear baseball outfits? That's a gang that wears makeup. No?
No.
Okay.
I think that's a boy band, sir.
A boy band?
Yes. I think you're mistaking that as a boy band.
Oh, okay. Yes, Kevin?
Well,
Robert?
Whatever you want, sir. Bobbert, I don't give a shit.
You do like Bobbert?
No, I don't like it, but if it's easy for you to remember. Anyway, going back to that makeup thing, I think I might be able to clarify for you there. We were actually in a Kiss impression band. Yes.
You and Gumshoe?
Yeah, every Tuesday night we'd perform at the Legion.
Really?
He liked to dress up as Star Child. And that can probably explain
amazing.
for you.
Do you have any photos of this?
No, I burnt those.
Okay, that makes sense too.
It was a troubled past, Didn't need any evidence.
Okay, wow.
Sorry, back to you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, where was I?
You were talking about the gangs that he was part of, the trouble.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So, anyways, one thing I really enjoyed about my job was just helping people rehabilitate, getting to know them. Gumshoe was one of those people that we really connected.
Really?
We really connected.
He's good at connecting with people.
He had an issue, his issue, it was tough. And I can remember this one night. I want to say it was June 13th. I can't remember the year though.
That's very specific.
Well, son, when you see things like that I saw, you remember dates.
What happened on that day?
I was doing my rounds, tapping on the doors, make sure people were okay. And I looked inside the cell, tapped, didn't see anything. Tapped again, normally they reply. There was nothing. I opened up the cell.
Yeah. And
I noticed that Gumshoe was performing audio asphyxiation.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my.
So, when you're in a cell and, you're doing this, there's no one there to help you out when your pecker doesn't work the way it should. And, you're suffocating for a little too long.
And what did you do?
Well, he was blue, not the pecker, the Gumshoe.
What color was the pecker?
I'd rather not discuss that, sir.
A weird color?
So, I'm going to move on from this question.
Okay.
Anyways, from that moment forward, I worked closely with him. And he was moved to a secure cell. Basically, what that means is very limited equipment and materials.
Okay.
To prevent him from harming himself and other people. And it worked. It was a success.
Wow.
We sought therapy.
Really?
It was good. It was good for him. I think it was a good transition.
And do you have any idea where Gumshoe is now? Like, I'm trying to track him down.
Well, as I mentioned, he was rehabilitating.
Yeah.
I think he would have probably continued his rehabilitation. I think it was a success.
Okay.
I'd like to say that he's not hanging out with the same people. But,
the makeup gang?
You never know, exactly. Yeah, the makeup gang.
Wow. My next question is... Can cows see in the dark? Nope. Do not answer that. That's for a different podcast I do called the Moocast. Please.
Son, I'm a busy man.
Sorry.
I don't need you wasting my time.
I cut that out. Next question. I guess I'm really. Can we go back to this Kiss cover band? Like, did he see?
Are you asking him? Or are you?
Oh
asking
yeah, sorry.
me?
I'm going back to Kevin.
Okay.
I guess you too, Michael. Did you see any of that? Was he like singing a lot of Big Mike? Yeah. Sorry about that.
Did he sing a lot of Kiss?
Yeah. Did you see any of that come out?
Well, I mean, son, when you're in prison, there's not much to listen to except for the walls.
Did the walls speak?
I don't know. I had a chance to go home. Gumshoe didn't.
So he could hear the walls.
I don't know, maybe.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that. What about you? Can you hear the walls?
I can just hear Gumshoe singing some Kiss right now.
Yeah.
I was getting a little sentimental over here, getting a little teary-eyed because...
Really? The good times?
It was great times. Woo! Put your hands in my pockets and grab into my rocket. Christine, 16. That song will forever just...
Rock on.
Yeah, you see, I think Big Mike's becoming a Kiss fan over here, too.
Yeah?
We have an opening in that cover band if you're interested, sir.
That'd be something I'd be interested in seeing.
I'll pass. Thank you, though.
Oh.
We can be unmasked. We can be no makeup, if that changes your mind at all.
The only way that I'm hanging out with people with makeup is if they're blonde and have beautiful tits. That's about it.
Understood.
Okay, back to the podcast. We have to actually take a break now, so I hope you guys can stick around. We have to...
What time is it?
It's summertime.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll be right back after these messages.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'm a man who really enjoys receiving oral sex with a condom on. You too? Why not give something back to that woman who just loves to get your $50 from you with a pumpkin spice latte flavored condom? Our pumpkin spice latte condoms come in 3 sizes: tall, grande, and venti. You'll be coming latte.
Welcome back to Finding Gumshoe Garrett's. We are joined today with our guests Michael Jensen, a.k.a. Big Mike, and Robert, a.k.a. Kevin. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show. You've been very helpful in giving me some information that I can use to track down Gumshoe Garrett. I guess I will explain my background with Gumshoe Garrett and as to why I am trying to track him down. I actually met him on the bus It was our local Ottawa bus. It was a 94 or 95. I'm not sure exactly. Don't quote me on that. One of those two buses. I was taking the bus back to my place, and I just started talking to this guy randomly. I don't remember how it started. And it was Gumshoe, and we were talking, and we just really connected based off whatever random thing we started talking about. And I don't know. He seemed like a really good guy at the time. He mentioned that he had to take a big piss, a huge one, in fact. And he was nervous because he didn't know the area too well and wanted to find a washroom close by. And I'm like, Gumshoe, my apartment is at the next stop. I have a washroom in that apartment, and there is a toilet in that washroom, and you can use it. And you can come over. And so he ended up taking me up on that offer and took a huge piss. We ended up hanging out after he took that piss. I was like, hey, do you want to have a beer? Hang out? Watch some TV? And we did. And then I think 4 minutes in to I think we were watching The Office, the UK Office, and 4 minutes in, he falls asleep. And I'm like, okay, well, this stranger has now fallen asleep on my couch. I'm not going to wake him up. I guess I'll just leave him here, and in the morning, he'll find his way out. And so that's what I did. I went to sleep after watching a couple more episodes, and in the morning, I woke up, and he was gone. I was like, okay, I guess that's the end of my story with this guy, Gumshoe Garrett. How weird. And then later that night, as I went into my cupboards, and I went to grab my lucky nuts, they were gone. They were gone, and there was just a little hat on top of a little pickle where my lucky nuts have been, and I blame Gumshoe Garrett. He must have been the one to steal it. And I just had... One time I won $100 when I had that bag on me. And so I need this justice that I truly deserve. Do you get me? I need
salted
to track it down.
Or unsalted?
I need to.
Very salted. I'm feeling salty.
Couldn't have been him.
What?
Could not have been him.
But who else could it have been?
He wouldn't have salt.
He wouldn't have salt.
He couldn't have salt.
So do you think he just took the nuts and didn't even eat them? Oh my god,
no.
That might be even worse.
Honestly, I think while he was sleeping, somebody probably broke into your...
Big Mike, are you lighting
Can we not smoke in here?
Is that a joint, Big Mike?
Just, I think
so
it looks
I've
like
been in
PC.
corrections for 15
Yeah,
years.
that's why I'm...
It smells like
is
PCP.
Is it
questioning me?
PCP?
Are you questioning me, son?
Well, what is it?
It's a cigarette.
Oh, okay. All right, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, we smoke in here.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hey, rolled it. Like
yeah, I
your
guess
style.
so. Yeah, I guess if you want to smoke in here, yeah, sure. I don't want any confrontations, Big Mike. Thank you for coming on. Wish you would have asked first before you just started lighting it up. I'm just glad it's not Pisipa. Okay, where was I? I was telling that. Oh yeah, so you were saying it couldn't be him?
No, he didn't like salt and he couldn't have it, so it couldn't have been him. I think you're looking for the wrong guy.
I don't know, but I barely know you. I barely knew him.
That is fair. I understand, sir, but I mean, while he was sleeping, somebody probably broke into your house and stole your lucky nuts. Your heavily salted lucky nuts.
Well, then he must know something about it. He was the closest one around.
Did you have a glass of water missing?
A glass of...
Because, I mean, if anyone's going to steal all those lucky nuts, then they would have to have a glass of water to go with it.
Do you think I should check the fingerprints on my glasses to see?
Just look at your water bill and see if you had maybe a glass or more missing.
I will check that out and see. That's a good tip. That's a really good tip.
Maybe you have a mouse problem. Maybe that's how the top hat ended up there.
You think that was from one of the mice? They ate the nuts.
You said it basically...
It was the size.
It was basically a mouse hat, right? So maybe they were actually wearing it. And the pickle, they traded in for dessert.
To who did the mice trade?
Well, the pickle was in their mouth when they got into the jar of Lucky Nuts. And they instead ate the Lucky Nuts because they were smaller and easier to transport. Mice are small. Those pickles are probably the same size.
Should I change the name of this podcast to Finding Mice now? And now I'm going to be finding
mice?
It
was a shot in the dark. You know, I used to watch a little bit of Columbo, so I was feeling...
Yeah? Oh, I love Columbo.
Just one more thing.
Classic Columbo.
So that's
funny.
Yeah, that's some classic stuff.
Just trying to help.
All right, okay, well, I'm going to go down a couple of these leads. I still not confident that it's these mice, but I will check them out. I'm going to set out some traps. I'm also going to set out some gumshoe traps. Big Mike, you're now done smoking. Thank you.
Thank you.
How was that? You're a big smoker?
Again, you see the things I see, yeah. It tends to help.
What other things do you see?
I see grown men cry.
And does that freak you out?
Would it freak you out, son?
I mean, depending on what they were wearing and what they were doing while they were crying, the situation totally depends. Yeah, I don't know.
Some of them are fully clothed.
Some of them are
butt-ass naked.
Butt-ass?
Which one would you cry more at?
Probably the butt-ass.
Yeah? Did you drop the soap?
Would I?
Yeah.
Not on purpose, but I don't think people are trying to drop the soap. Did they have like strings attached to soap so you can't drop it? I'd get one of those. So
Soap on a rope.
Soap on a rope.
Sorry, yeah.
Soap on a rope.
Is that allowed in?
Man, that's a luxury.
The soap on the rope? Yeah, you have to...
Helps with the auto asphyxiation, I heard as well.
Oh, that's true.
The 2-in-1.
Where'd you hear that?
Not Gumshoe Garrett.
I think it might be from... Oh.
No, I haven't heard from him in 10 years, like I said.
Okay. Interesting.
But I do find it kind of funny that you know about that stuff.
He told me we
Maybe
were
that's
close.
just my investigation skills coming in. You know,
He told me about the stranger in the night.
Okay, so we have to move on to one of our favorite segments of the show. Finish that lyric. I've got like post sound effects from like audience from like Price is Right stuff, so I'm gonna edit that in like post effects. I got people, they're like shouting like, "We love you, Bob. 400. Step up. 700. It's great. I'm going to put that in post. So, this game is Finish That Lyric. And as you probably assume, I have a song by... today's episode is Dollar Beer by Mishka Shubali. So, I'll play part of his song, and then you will have to say what the last lyric is of this song.
I don't need a different girl in all the big cities. I just need the one girl with the great big.
All right, we'll start with Big Mike. What is your answer for Finish That Lyric? Big Mike, I will need an answer, please.
sorry, can I hear it one more time?
We don't normally do
Can I just
this.
go with tits?
Tits?
Yeah, I'm just going to go with tits.
I'm going to need you to lock in tits. You going to lock that in?
Yeah, I'm going to lock in tits.
Big Mike locks in tits.
I'm going to go with titties, Bob.
You're going with titties.
So that's bullshit right there. You're just adding plurals to that shit.
It rhymes
It's a
with
different...
cities.
Yeah, it does rhyme. Yours didn't rhyme, but it was along the same lines. Didn't rhyme.
Sorry, I one-upped you.
Are you going to lock in titties?
Titties, Bob.
That
Bob's not part of my answer, but...
Titties, Bob?
Titties, Bob.
Locked in.
Titties,
Is that
just titties.
Make up your mind, son.
Okay.
I was referring to him as Mr. Barker.
Can you lock in the titties, please?
Titties.
though? Okay.
Beep.
Thank you. All right. Let's hear it.
I don't need a different girl in all the big cities. I just need
definitely gonna be
the
tits.
one girl with a great big wallet.
The answer was wallet. Sorry. Thank you guys for playing. Finish that lyric. That you guys were not too close. So it's a nice try. I appreciate you guys playing. I hope you had fun. I had fun. Certainly listening to your answers. But that's the end of the show, basically. Do you guys have any questions for me?
So what's next for you?
I'm going to be tracking down. I took some notes throughout the show based on what you guys were saying, and I'm going to go check out these places and some ideas of what you were talking about. I'm going to check out some concerts, maybe check out some Kiss cover bands, see if Gumshoe's in any of those. Might check out some autoerotic asphyxiation clubs. Check out, see what maybe is part of those. You guys have been really helpful today, and I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, and looking at the AAA. That's all I have to say.
If you find him, I'm going to warn you. Don't get lost in those eyes.
Did you get lost in those eyes?
Listen to me, son. Don't get lost in those eyes. He's a criminal at heart, but he can win a heart as well.
Oh my gosh, that is good advice.
So keep your distance.
And for anybody out there...
And never drop the soap.
Very great final words from Big Mike. Thank you guys for coming on the show. Big Mike, thank you. Nice meeting you.
Alien Abductee Anonymous, AAA. Look into it. That's all I have to say. Can't say
so
more.
He was abducted by aliens, is what you're saying.
I just can't say more than that. Look into that. That might be a good lead for you.
All right. Thank you guys for listening to Gumshoe Garrett. Oh my God. All right. But this is the end of the show.